to my channel. This week we have another Foodie Friday and we will be doing a healthy pasta. The things you will need is 1 pound of chicken, penne or your favorite pasta, whole grain or veggie will be healthier, some asparagus, shredded Parmesan and some olive oil. I also have some broccoli and cherry tomatoes, just a little bit of extra goodies. You will also need a 9 by 13 inch baking dish, some non-stick spray, or I have some Crisco here, your favorite seasonings, less salt the better, and you will also need a pot to boil your noodles in and a skillet to cook the meat in. So let's get started. The first step would be to do some prep. So we're going to grease our pan. If you have some spray, do that. Here I have Crisco, so I will just get that on some napkin and then just spread it evenly around the baking dish. Aside from it not sticking, it also makes the cleanup process a whole lot easier. So the next thing we'll do is preheat our oven to 400 and let that heat up. And then you'll want to start chopping your veggies. So I'm going to chop the asparagus and some broccoli. And we're going to do that first because we will be putting those into the oven for about 8 minutes. So once you have them chopped up, you'll want to toss them in some olive oil. I just drizzle some on in there. I also like to season mine. I just add some pepper, but you can also add your favorite seasoning. Mrs. Dash is great as it does not have salt in it and it's a healthier choice. And then you'll just want to mix it around. I just use my hand. You can use whatever. You will get an oily hand, so you'll have to rewash your hands after, but that's all right. Then you'll just want to make sure it's spread evenly to the bottom so that it bakes properly. And next, I'm going to do some prep on the tomatoes. Just chop them up and then I will set them aside for later. So now we're going to go ahead and add our veggies into the oven at 400 for about 8 minutes and let those bake. Next, we'll want to fill up our water and go ahead and start that at about a medium heat just to let it start to boil. Add a little bit of salt to speed up the process. And you'll want to then chop your chicken up. I have chicken breast tenders. And then I turn on the skillet, add a little bit of olive oil in there, get that started, and then try and toss my chicken in there and have a little bit of difficulty doing that. But once you get your chicken in there, you want to season it to add more flavor as it is a white meat and those tend to have a little less flavor. So I've got a tiny bit of salt here, some pepper, also some garlic pepper seasoning, as well as some garlic because you can never go wrong with that. So then next you'll want to add in the pasta. And once that's done cooking, we'll go ahead and strain that out. And then we will have the veggies fresh out the oven. Layer your pasta on top. Then your finished chicken. And then add the tomatoes. And then next will be the olive oil and the cheese that we're going to spread over it. So I just drizzle the olive oil all over the pasta and then just mix that around with my spatula just so that it's evenly layered throughout. And the olive oil, the recipe calls for 1/4 cup, and I will leave that recipe linked down below. I used a little bit more here, but after cooking it, you definitely don't need that much. So then it calls for a 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan. So I just sprinkle that over the top and then stir that around as well. And I decided that I wanted to use a little bit more Parmesan than what was called for. So I went ahead and just grab a handful here in just a minute and drizzle that over the top to have a nice little top layer. And then you'll just broil that for 5 minutes. Alright, here is the finished product. It was so yummy. Vari even asked for seconds, and there was plenty for me to take to work the next day for lunch. I even brought my mom some lunch as well, and I will definitely be making this recipe again. Now, there is a link down below to the Pinterest board that I did pull this from. Though I did alter the recipe, I added broccoli, tomatoes, some extra cheese. I switched up my seasonings. I also changed up the noodle. So definitely switch up the recipe to what you guys will enjoy. Change the veggies to what you might like. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and definitely leave me comments down below. Let me know what other videos you might like to see, and let me know if you try this recipe and what your thoughts are on it. And I will see you guys next time in another Foodie Friday or perhaps another video. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!